Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody out there, YouTube land. This is Moz coming to you with another episode of Moz's Toy Box. And today we're going to go over this shot of Galactus versus Kratos. That's right, guys. I decided after, futzing around for over a year without shooting this guy, I decided to pull the Galactus back out of the DTOF and shoot this guy. He's a huge figure to shoot. The Haslab Galactus stands 3 feet tall. He's just very cumbersome to deal with, but he looks awesome. He photographs so well, as you've seen. Now, the Kratos figure is the Neca God of War 3 Kratos. I was inspired, I forget whose picture it was, but there was a picture I saw recently, Kratos standing down against one of the McFarlane Witcher giant figures that somebody bought at one of the Ross clearance sales. But Kratos was staring him down. The giant was off in the distance, and that inspired me to pull my Kratos figure out. So I did that, and I do want to give props to them. I just wish I could find out who it was. I know I saw it somewhere, and I went back trying to find where I saw it. I couldn't find it. The algorithms of the internet ate it, so I apologize. But if you're there, man, leave a comment down below. Say hi. Because it was definitely an inspiration to pit these two against each other and do this awesome shot. So with that being said, let's get into what we did to get this picture going. All right, so the first thing that we did is we got Galactus out, and we got him in the pose. This pose, of course, is his arm out before him, kind of off to his side, and he's looking down his arm at the palm of his hand. Okay, you have to shoot these figures separately because Galactus and Kratos don't scale well together otherwise, at least for these purposes. Once I got Galactus in position, I played with the lighting, tried to make sure that I got enough light to make it look like whatever is in his surrounding is giving him an ambient light around him and not anything too harsh. I was trying not to go over the top with it. I used a lot of purplishes in this one. My key light up top is a cool blue. And then I used a lot of purples and pinks, and I did just a little bit of warm light, and I used that mainly on Kratos. Other than that, all the lighting on this is from the figure, with the exception of the flares you'll see in the end product. I did add those in post. I did brighten up his light up features a bit in post, but his initial lighting is all him. All right, so one thing that I didn't show you here is in order to get the focus right for Kratos and everything to work, is I increased my depth of field to f20 on this lens, and then I focused on whatever is in Galactus's hand, which, as you see right now, nothing is there. But what I did is I just grabbed what was nearby. In this case, it was a tube of paint, and I put it over the palm of his hand and let the camera focus so I could read the words on the tube of paint, make sure that was in focus, and then I was able to leave the camera and manual focus there. Next up, what we did, while we had Galactus standing here, we then piled up, as you see, what I had, some boxes and or props to get a place for Kratos to stand that's going to be at the same level so I don't have to move the camera. So now we got to get Kratos in the shot. Kratos, of course, won't fit in his hand. He's too big. So what we're going to do is we're going to pile up some things and get it to the height of his hand. And we're going to do that so that we don't move the camera at all. And so we can take Galactus out of the shot and we can shoot. Everything is going to be on the right perspective. So there's not like, we're not looking too far down on Kratos or too far up. We're not changing any of that, which can happen if you're not careful, if you're moving the camera around to try to get this shot of Kratos right. So the easiest way I found to do this was to get him around the same height that you would have him in the actual shot and where the actual camera's focused, so you're not playing with that. And then just take Galactus out of it. So we're going to pick him up, take him out of it, and we're going to shoot Kratos by himself. We're going to leave all the lighting where it is. All of that ambient lighting, we want to keep that. All those purples, the overhead light blue, we're going to keep all of that. But what we're going to do is we're going to give him a little bit of highlights And this is where those warmer tones are going to come in. So I'm going to use this little loom cube and give him a little bit of warm tone. And I'm going to move the loom cube around him, and we're going to paint these tones on him because this is obviously going to hit him too hard. And, you know, we're going to just want to just mask those tones back in Photoshop. So once we've gotten all those different highlights around his edges, so that he doesn't look like he's just standing somewhere, so he looks like he's in the shot, we're going to take our shots. We're going to take a couple of them. We're not going to just, you know, do one and expect to have it. We're doing this multiple shots as we move the light around. And then we're going to go into Photoshop. All right, so we're in Photoshop, and we're going to do this really rudimentary here. We're just going to run through this. We're in Photoshop, and we're going to give you a general idea. This won't be verbatim because the generated fill is going to work differently. This is a whole new project I'm doing. So let's get on to that. All right, so we got the raw shot of Galactus out here. This is the one we're doing here. We're going to go ahead and get our selection tool going, and we're going to select Galactus. It's the easiest way to kind of do it. We're just going to select him, and then we're going to inverse the selection. Obviously, the selection tool is a little weak on some of the darker areas, so we got to clean that up a bit. And we're just going to, if you don't hold any buttons down, it's just going to add to the selection. If you hold down Control, or excuse me, if you hold down Alt, you can deselect, depending on if Windows or Mac. So just got to play around with the selection tool here, get Galactus selected out properly, and then we'll be able to move on with our generative fill. Okay, so we're going to generate a fill of deep space. That's what we used previously. Obviously, we're doing this all over again for your benefit, so it may not result in the same exact images. It takes a moment to generate it. This is a free service. This is not bad. I probably would have used this one had I got it the first time around, but I didn't. So we're going to go through the different generations here, see what all it came up with. And we're going to hit generate again to see if it gives us any other choices. I'm only going to do this one at a time because this is just for y'all's benefit. I've already got the actual shot done. So we're just going to see what other differences it gives you. Wow, that one's pretty cool too, with a planet behind him and all. Yeah, really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Not all of it works. Okay, so obviously we're not going to have the exact same generator fill, and there's other steps here, but this is the basics of it. So we're going to hide this layer real quick, and we're going to play with this here. This is the background image right there, right? So we're going to, let's see, go to Filter. We're going to go to Camera Raw. And we're going to play around with a little bit of the effects here. Mainly, we're going to bring it out. So let's see. We want to go. Where is it? Effects. So I want to bring out the clarity some. Bring out the texture a little bit. And I'm just winging this. We're just really just kind of giving this a once over real quick. We're going to also select this background, and we're going to add a Gaussian blur to it. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We do a filter, blur gallery, field blur. And we're going to pump this down a wee bit more. And that's going to give us a little bit more depth of field in our blur, right? So as you see, it's not the exact background because it just randomly generates a background, but you're seeing where we're going with this, right? And then what we're going to do, and I've already got this selected, so we're going to just use this. We're going to, again, just really quickly do this. I got a Kratos selected already. Normally I'd say use a mask, but we're going to just copy this selection and we're going to paste it over here. Boom. See? And we're going to shrink them down. And you can put them whatever size you want. That's a little big still. So right about there. And you got to remember, he's going to be further down in his hands. So you're not going to want to put them right there in the fingers or whatever. We're just kind of guesstimating this here. We're going to do a layer mask. And we're going to mask out. The best way to do this, we're going to change the opacity down. We're going to zoom in. And we're going to mask him out. It keeps on wanting to do my signature. All right. So we're going to mask him out. Wrong color. Black takes away. We're going to mask him out right here. See that? Right where his leg would be going through something. And again, I'm just doing this rudimentary style. You know, you can obviously you see that we can do a lot better than we do, but you just want to get rid of all these bits so it looks like he's standing. And again, this is not professionally done. I'm not doing it as fast as I did before, but they bring his opacity back up. And as you can see, we for the most part got him now in his hand. After that, we're just going to play with some some color grading filters over the whole thing, so all the changes and stuff you do make him look more entwined with his background. So it's going to grade the whole different color spectrum. And of course, as I mentioned before, we grabbed some of these, which is just some effects I had, and this was the ones I used on his eyes, if I recall. Yeah, I know they're not to scale, blah, blah, blah. So what I did for his eyes, I just changed this to screen. Move this over. And I duplicated it. Move that one over. And right there. So, just kind of like that, And I of course, did a layer adjustment, and we colorized it, and we clipped it, and we're gonna go with a bluish, and then we're gonna just copy that by holding Alt. We're gonna bring it down to this one, and again clip it, and boom, they're both the same color. And we did one up here too, and all that kind of stuff. Brought the light out on this, but you're seeing the gist of it, guys, and that's the whole point, because you're going to learn this on your own. And of course, we cropped the original image in so it fits on Instagram, yada yada yada. But this is the extent of what we did. This is all the photoshopping. All right, and here is the finished picture that you guys are now enjoying on Instagram. So that's what we came up with. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. That's the finished picture. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. So yeah, this is a reenactment of the original shot. This is not exactly what happened, but it is just to give you a general idea. I'd like for you guys to kind of learn things on your own, of course. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. All right, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and please leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see done, and I'll try to get to it. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much.